Good evening, fight fans. This is the Radulich and Broadcasting Network Alternative Commentary Series. Tonight, we are providing alternative commentary for the return of Iron Mike Tyson as he takes on Roy Jones Jr., a fight several years in the making. A match between two over 50-year-olds on pay-per-view, the Triller Network, as a matter of fact. I'm your host, the mandated reporter, and frankly, I'm mortified, Mr. Mark Radulich. And joining me tonight is also another Mike Tyson fan, and that's why we're doing this, because we love ourselves some Mike Tyson, and we couldn't miss this major boxing event. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Super Blog team up, it's Chris Bailey. How you doing, sir?
I am doing well, and The Rock is alive and well. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning here, and what keeps me up? It's Mike Tyson's return to the ring, baby. And what brings me back to boxing after being a lapsed boxing fan? By God, it's Iron Mike, and I cannot wait for this one.
Mike Tyson ended his career proper on June 11th, 2005, with a record of 50 wins and 6 losses. He went out on 2 losses, one to Danny Williams, July 30th, 2004, and finally to Kevin McBride on June 11th, 2005. He meets Roy Jones Jr., who ended his career, another multiple division champion, former heavyweight champion, as a matter of fact, for a cup of tea. He ended his career with 66 wins and 9 losses, and he went out with 4 consecutive wins in a row. His last fight being only 2 years ago, and on February 8th in 2018 at the Bay Center in Pensacola, Florida, where he won the German version, for those of you keeping score, of the WBU Cruiserweight title.
The German version. Is this another one of these where you're just popular in Germany and now all of a sudden you're the champ? But this sounds like a sham, brother.
You know, I don't know who's worse about giving out fake belts, wrestling or boxing.
Oh, definitely boxing. I mean, all these lineal titles you see going around. I've heard you and Mullen going on with all these boxing shows, and I've been envious. I've been always wanted to be a part of that, and by God, I get to do the Tyson fight. So, Pat Mullen, there you go.
What did the one guy win earlier? It was like the WBC Silver Pontiac Roman Reigns head of the table championship. What? The WBC gives out. I think if I look hard enough, I can find my WBC belt somewhere.
Absolutely, we all have one, and at any point we can defend it.
I
believe
an
exhibition, no less.
I believe I'm the Pan-African tinfoil heavyweight champion.
And I am the Canadian version of that particular belt, so I'm worse again. I'm the bare naked ladies version of that particular belt. It's been one week
since you looked at me. All right. So a couple of things about tonight's program. We are only doing the main event, Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr., but we'll take a moment and catch you up with what you've missed so far. Again, earlier tonight, Jermaine Ortiz got a 7th-round TKO over Suleiman Sagawa at 2 minutes and 50 seconds of the 7th round. Badu Jack put a whooping. Ooh. And that's not my word. That came from the commentary team. Put a whooping on Blake McKiernan. He won a unanimous decision in 8 rounds, 80-72 times 3. And in our celebrity embarrassment fight, former basketball player Nate Robinson got his head knocked off by amateur boxer and YouTube celebrity Jake Paul.
The great White Hope.
I said to Robert Winfrey, who is watching this fight while also providing written commentary for the UFC fight that's tonight, which lost its heavyweight main event and therefore lost me as a viewer, that Nate Robinson came in looking like he could have participated, he was well prepared for a bare-knuckle fighting championships match. Now, I gave him some credit and said he would have been on the prelim card. Robert Winfrey, who hates bare-knuckle and life in general, said he looked prepared for a championship, main event. I think it's a little overselling it, but either way.
Oh, yes, you're not wrong there.
Nate Robinson sucks and was not prepared for this. That was a terrible fight.
Oh my goodness.
Jake Paul looked okay. Like, he looked like an amateur boxer, and he looked like, look, I'm somebody who loves the circus. I love the celebrity matchups. I love the nonsense. But if you're going to do it, you got to come in prepared. You can't come in looking like one of the guys that Kimbo Slice used to fight in the backyard.
And that's exactly right. But that's part of the whole draw of this entire card. It's the celebrity. You know what I mean? And
absolutely.
Boy, is this show packed with celebrity. Holy cow.
I think we're up to our fifth concert for the night.
And who did I see on commentary but Mauro Ranallo from WWE fame, Snoop Doggy Dogg, and hosted by Slater himself. Good old Slater from Saved by the Bell. Mario Lopez was even doing the in-between hosting. So, man, this feels like I'm like in a parallel universe watching this thing.
Current MMA UFC champion Israel Adesanya is also providing commentary tonight, and he has the line of the night, which was, "Is there fake crowd noise?" And when it was acknowledged, they turned it down, and he said, "Thank you."
and I think honestly on TV right now, Snoop Dogg is performing just before our fight here, and I believe he is actually smoking weed on TV.
Well, it is Triller, and I think one of the sponsors is some like Weed Now or Weed for Children or something like that. I don't know. I tend to, when there's not boxing on, let's put it this way. The first 20 minutes of this was a concert and some other bullshit, and I was watching episodes of Community, which I'm currently binging for a future TV party.
Ah, well done.
So,
what do you think of the no crowd? How are we doing with that so far here on the card, Mark?
Well, I'll tell you what, Chris Bailey. I have been watching boxing in the COVID era since it came back on ESPN 2 nights a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, weekly. I believe this was back in August. And every fight has been a bubble fight with no crowds. The DAZN fights started back shortly after that. BT Sports, which are usually broadcasted on ESPN Plus from England, those are usually in a studio somewhere. So, between August and now November, I've watched plenty of bubble fights. I'm fine with boxing not having a crowd. Wrestling, the crowd is part of the atmosphere. With boxing, and there's real guys hitting each other and real stakes involved, and not, an arrogant Samoan yelling, "I'm head of the table." I don't care about the crowd. They don't really add anything. I do think you need some sort of atmospheric noise in the background to give.
I agree, 100%.
So I don't mind a low level of ambient fake crowd noise. As Israel Adesanya said, you don't want to overpower the broadcast. But I think, some white noise in the background is fine. It doesn't take away from anything. I rather enjoy it. But I don't need the Thunderdome like in the WWE.
Oh, no. You don't need the videos. I agree. Some light crowd noise really creates atmosphere, and basically that's all you need. But it would be interesting to see the Thunderdome in this setting, especially with the return of Tyson, just to see the reaction. And we always listen. The entire hype for this fight is based around Mike Tyson. Everybody's forgetting Roy Jones Jr., who, this guy's the real deal, man. Like you said, he's fought like only 2 years ago. So, I mean, Tyson is just stepping back in the ring. Like, ring rust is going to be a thing. So, I really can't wait to see if this is going to be just a complete and utter tragedy of epic proportions. And there's money to be made on this thing. So, what happens if Mike Tyson wins this fight, for example? Are we going to see more of Tyson in the ring? Are we going to see him possibly step back in the ring? Maybe at not a competitive level, but, even at the exhibition level again. Like, who knows? To me, this could be a Kimbo Slice type of disaster where if Tyson gets knocked or, taken out in the first round, this could be disastrous for this entire thing. So I think a lot of weight is placed on the shoulders of Mike Tyson here tonight. So time will tell, sir.
As I said on the History of Boxing podcast I do with Pat Mullen that you referenced earlier, regarding Mike Tyson, he transcends boxing. He is a cultural icon. I think now more so than ever. I don't know how many people, young people, like millennials, people under the age of 30, are even aware of Mike Tyson's history in boxing. They know him for, unfortunately, his dubious history, but I think also for like the movies he's been in, the cartoon that's named after him,
which is amazing.
Yeah, Mike Tyson Mysteries. It's fantastic.
Oh man!
But you know what I mean? Like, I think people are aware of Mike Tyson the way that they're aware of like RuPaul. Like, you might not know the history of RuPaul, but you know that this person exists in the world and is a cultural icon.
Well, I first heard of Mike Tyson. I was a top-ranked boxing fan. So when WWE started WWF started promoting boxing events back in the day with Sugar Ray Leonard, I got really, really into boxing for a short period of time. And of course, it was just at the dawn of Mike Tyson, so I got to see him like absolutely destroy like Trevor Berbick and knock the crap out of Larry Holmes in like 4 rounds. Michael Spinks. I mean, he was just laying waste to all these people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I was super hyped for this guy. You know what I mean? He was everything. A Tyson fight was one of the first times that families would gather around the TV and we would actually rent a boxing pay-per-view. That never ever happened until Tyson, for me, of course. And then of course there was the whole Buster Douglas fiasco. I mean, where he got knocked out in Japan, and I don't even know what to think of that. Obviously it was a fluke. It created havoc in the wrestling world because it took Tyson out of a Randy Savage main event for a referee and a god awful main event on television. And then of course there was the Holyfield fights, which were infamous. Sure. So I mean, I have a strong love for the career of Mike Tyson. Not so familiar with Roy Jones Jr. though. Maybe you could add a little bit of flavor on that.
Well, let me say this first. Mike Tyson was one of my childhood heroes, and for people who want to hear my opinion on the man beyond that, you can listen to our podcast on the W2M network, where we went into the history of Mike Tyson, and I said he shouldn't be judged by his dubious record regarding the prior rape charge and conviction and all of that, and the bite fight, which I sometimes think people regard worse than the rape charge.
Well, listen, I was actually physically upset with Robin Givens for coming out and ruining Mike Tyson. I was like, "Come on, woman!" Yeah,
nobody. Yeah, Robin Givens and Buster Douglas have a special place in hell.
They do.
But so I went through a whole thing about how I don't think Mike Tyson should be judged by his mistakes and by his infamy. I think you need to look at the whole man, and you can hear that on that podcast. So I don't want to go into it all again.
It's really good, really strong episode, by the way.
Thank you. He was a childhood hero of mine, and I remember watching his fights on HBO. Like, we didn't order the pay-per-views because my dad wasn't going to do that. But I remember whatever fights he got on HBO when I was an elementary school kid. I used to watch, and I remember coming out of my parents' room, and after he'd knock somebody out, usually within the first few rounds, if not the first round, and I'm like, I want to grow up to be Mike Tyson. I wanted to grow up to be, a poor black kid from Brooklyn, because he was amazing. He was just awesome. I wish things had worked out better for Tyson. I wish he had people in his life that cared about him and kept him on the straight and narrow and not what happened. But, that's that's his unfortunate life. He's turned things around, and I think now, I haven't heard any, negative Mike Tyson stories lately, and he's gotten into great shape, and we'll see how he does against Roy Jones. You asked for a little bit of color on Roy Jones. Roy Jones won every belt in the history of mankind, including, I think, the WWE Heavyweight Championship. Jesus Christ. December 5th, 1992, he won the vacant WBC Continental America Super Middleweight title. This was a big one. He beat Bernard Hopkins in 1993.
Unanimous decision.
For the vacant IBF middleweight title. He won the IBF Super Middleweight title from James Toney, who, at least he tried against Randy Couture, right, everybody?
Now, there's a little bit of a trend here. So you're looking at a Mike Tyson fight who's knocking people out in rounds 1, 2, 5, etc., etc. And now you're switching over to Roy Jones Jr., who unanimous decision with, Bernard Hopkins. James Toney, unanimous decision. You know what I mean? So You're dealing with a different kind of player. He's got more of a long game over Tyson, you know what I mean? Who usually burns himself out in the first few minutes of a fight. But anyway.
Well, Mike Tyson, his height is about 5'10", and right. He's almost, Roy Jones Jr. is 5'11", and the thing with Mike Tyson, if you watched his fights as he was coming up, and as I referred to him, the Thanos of boxing, when he was going through the initial run of belt collecting, against Trevor Berbick and the lineal title against Michael Spinks and all of that, he was fighting much taller opponents. In some cases, like way taller. And that gave the perfect opening for his uppercut, which started in hell and rose straight up, with rocket boosters. Like, that's how he finished a lot of guys. Or he set them up with that uppercut, and then he would land a hook, and that would be the end of them. But that uppercut was a thing of beauty, and he would swivel his hips like a salsa dancer. But his height worked for him because he was already coming in low, and then he would swivel, and he had so much distance and power in that uppercut that's how he was finishing guys that were so much taller than him. So it'll be interesting to see. And I want to get to the rules of this fight in just a moment, but it'll be interesting to see how he does against a guy who's basically the same height as him.
And you're exactly right. When you saw a Tyson fight, it's amazing because he was beating guys with a lot of reach, and these guys never really got to harness that reach advantage, you know what I mean? Because Tyson would stick to them like glue, which came to bite him in the ass in fights against like Evander Holyfield and all that stuff, because he would be on the inside early and being able to land those solid power punches to the chin, man. I mean, this guy took people out, literally off their feet from the inside when he shouldn't have, when he's defying a reach advantage, which really didn't make sense. So, it's going to be interesting to see what he does here against Roy Jones Jr. for sure.
Just to finish up, he both lost and then regained the WBC light heavyweight title against Montel Griffin. He won the WBA light heavyweight title from Lou DeVal in Madison Square Garden in 1998.
I did not see that fight.
He unified the WBA, WBC, and IBF light heavyweight title against Reggie Johnson in 1999 in Biloxi, Mississippi. Shout out to you, Kevin Nash. He won the he won the IBO light heavyweight title in Nolans against Eric Harding in 2000, September 9th. Just kind of skipping ahead here because he wins and retains a whole bunch of light heavyweight titles for the next couple of years. But he won the heavyweight title. He won the WBA and then immediately vacated it. But he won the WBA heavyweight title at the Thomas and Mack Center in Paradise, Nevada, from John Ruiz on March 1st, 2003, by unanimous decision. He had a couple of
where does Ruiz fit in the whole scheme of things? Like, I'm unfamiliar with that name. So, are we talking like a game competitor or just someone he should have easily disposed of?
Well, let me say this about John Ruiz, and you'll hear more about him when we talk about Evander Holyfield, and specifically the other person who occupies a place in hell, Riddick Bowe.
Oh, yes.
Tyson lost the undisputed title to Buster Douglas, who then lost it to Evander Holyfield, who then lost it to Riddick Bowe. And all Riddick Bowe had to do was accept a fight with WBC mandatory challenger Lennox Lewis, and the title would not have been fractured. Instead, he pulled a Medusa and threw it in the trash and told Lennox Lewis, if you want the WBC title, come pick it out of the garbage, and then you'll be a garbage picker because Riddick Bowe is 5 years old. So we had a perfectly good undisputed title here, and Riddick Bowe screwed it up, and it wouldn't be until years later under Lennox Lewis that we would reunify the titles again. So yeah, I hate Riddick Bowe almost as much as I hate Buster Douglas.
No, Buster Douglas was just meant to be basically a jobber in Japan for Mike Tyson, literally.
Right.
He was sent to the gallows, but by the good grace of God, he landed 2 punches that put Mike Tyson on his ass and finished him off. So, I mean, hats off to Buster Douglas for his literally, I'm not even going to give him his 5 seconds of fame, his 4 seconds of fame. So there you go.
So, we talked about on the previous episode, the Tyson Forgotten Sons, that after Ali, the title is fractured, and we have, in the 3 major sanctioning bodies, the WBA, the WBC, and the IBF, and then the lineal title, we have 4 different title holders, and then within each one of those, the title kept bouncing around like a hot potato, and so there was approximately 5 million different heavyweight champions between the end of Ali and Tyson unifying the title. Well, after Riddick Bowe threw the WBC title in the trash, it happens again. And John Ruiz is one of the 10 million heavyweight champions in that era between Riddick Bowe and Lennox Lewis. Yeah, it's
not cool.
Boxing's a fucking mess.
It's as Avril Lavigne says, it's complicated.
I actually tried to draw like a chart.
Oh.
I actually tried to draw a chart charting between Riddick Bowe to Lennox Lewis how the titles went, and then when you throw the WBO, it gets even. A 4th sanctioning body, it gets even more complicated, and it looks like a football play. It's just like
it's just a mess all over the map.
Yeah, especially we'll talk about it with Bowe and Holyfield, but when we get to Foreman, you just prepare to have some Advil nearby. All right, getting back to. So, he would go on after a trilogy of fights with arch nemesis Antonio Tarver. He would finish out his career between 2009 and 2018, winning various lesser-degree cruiserweight titles. So, he's a Hall of Fame fighter, Roy Jones Jr., Mike Tyson, Hall of Fame heavyweight. This will be an interesting fight, to say the least, and it's got some special rules. We should talk about that.
Oops. It's almost game time, baby.
Yes, sir. We got the walkouts finally. Okay. It's 8 rounds. Our main event here between Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. is 8 rounds, each 2 minutes, no headgear. Fighters aren't supposed to go for a knockout. The bout can be stopped on a cut, and the suggestion from the California Commission is to not go beyond hard sparring. Tyson and Jones and event organizers have been defiant in interviews and press releases, but those are the rules in place, according to Bad Left Hook. We'll see what happens with, whether or not it is kind of an 8-round slap and tickle, or Tyson comes out and tries to take Roy Jones' head off.
In my opinion, they really need to go for it here in this main event. This has a lot of hype behind it, and I think it would be damaging to come in and play, posy softball here. So we got to see Michael Buffer announce this main event here, and boy, does Buffer look a little bit old.
It happens to the best of us, my friend.
He's got the Vince McMahon jowls going on, where he can hardly catch his breath.
My God, zombie Vince McMahon? Sure.
Yes, zombie Vince McMahon. And here comes Roy Jones Jr. He looks in great shape, Mark, although he doesn't understand how to wear his COVID-blocking mask here. He's got his nose exposed.
That's how I like to wear it.
Oh, no.
I got to breathe, man.
COVID if you do that.
COVID schmovid. All right.
Right.
So here's what I'd like to see. I know you said, they need to sort of throw the California Commission's recommendations to the side and just go at one another. This is a $50 pay-per-view, and while as a child I could certainly appreciate the first-round knockout power of Mike Tyson, I want to get my money's worth. And here comes the man, Iron Mike.
Here he is.
They kept saying he's lost 100 pounds for this.
Man, you can tell this guy looks in incredible shape. Hopefully this will bring the speed, and we'll see a new, very lightning-fast Mike Tyson. And, brother, a fast Mike Tyson is only bad news for Roy Jones Jr.
Indeed. And, this got started with, if I remember correctly, he posted a YouTube video of him working the bags, and apparently he still got the hand speed.
Oh, I saw those videos, and I felt immediately bad for Roy Jones Jr.
You know, we were very close before I guess Triller came to him with an offer he couldn't refuse, and we landed on a exhibition boxing match between him and Roy Jones Jr. We could have gotten Mike Tyson in bare knuckle boxing, and I right now would have no pants on.
And I'd help you with those pants.
All right. Well, both men have entered the ring. They are getting final instructions from the referee, final announcements from the aged Michael Buffer.
Yep. Hopefully
and we are almost
he gets
underway.
their names right.
That's okay. I was watching the Rosado fight last night on DAZN, and they announced the winner. They announced the right winner, but from the wrong city.
I was afraid Buffer was going to announce him as Iron Mike Tyson, the vacuum.
Surprised he didn't announce him as 14-time world champion Ric Flair.
And now we have, of course, the anthem.
Aren't you supposed to do the anthem at the beginning of the show? Like, you know,
yes.
WrestleMania and Aretha Franklin! You know?
Yes!
Or many years later, Boys to Men.
The problem with this is, this guy's not even great.
I have the volume turned down.
Oh, it's not good. It's shrill.
Terrific. When was the last time you watched a boxing match?
Oh my! Actually, boy, it's been a while. Holy cow! I can't even remember the last. But like, I watch it randomly on TV. But you know, I don't know the players anymore, so I can't speak to the names who I was watching. But you know, I dabble in it from time to time. But man, I would have to go back to the '90s to
really?
say when
that
I was
far back, huh?
a fan. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I watch a lot of old stuff, and you guys sort of got me back into that again. So, you know, the Ali era, and, you know, the Tyson era, and, you know, the Sugar Ray Leonard, Hitman Hearns, these type of, you know, what I grew up with. You know, that's basically what I still watch.
I just watched Just to Kill Time this week. I've been off this whole week from work. So, sort of in preparation, sort of out of curiosity, I watched some old fights. I watched Foreman and Tommy Morrison for the WBO heavyweight title. That was fun. It. I watched Foreman win the WBA and the WBC title from Michael Moorer, which then he'll immediately vacate, causing chaos and havoc. I got to watch Holyfield Foreman next.
I did not like. I recently watched the Evander Holyfield, the 11-round one with Mike Tyson. Man, that was hard to watch. I watched both of those. I watched the bite fight and I watched the first one. I watched Lennox Lewis versus Tyson, which had Manny Pacquiao on the card. Yeah, and you know what? The Lennox Lewis fight wasn't terrible. I got to be honest with you. That was a good one. And you know, here we go. We're underway, baby.
Yes, sir.
Let's get the corpse of Michael Buffer out of this ring and let's get going. It's fight time, baby.
It has been too long since this show started. I am ready to see these guys go at it.
Okay, let's do our predictions up front. Of course, I'm putting the easy money on Tyson. I may be wrong. I might lose my shirt and my pants, as you indicated earlier. I think they'll go the full 8. I don't think Tyson's going to try to take Roy Jones' head off. I mean, it's been a number of years since Tyson's been in the ring for a professional fight. Yep.
So I think he's going to slow down, take a breath, and use his boxing skills. I think Roy Jones Jr. is also going to use his footwork. I think he's going to circle. I think he's going to try to stay away from Mike Tyson's power hand.
You got it.
And, you know, I think you're going to see these guys hit each other, obviously, but I don't think you're going to see, like, I think you're going to see some boxing skill. You're not going to see, like, a hard, fast knockout, and hopefully we won't see a lot of clinching. If there's a lot of clinching in this, I'm going to be really upset.
Oh yeah, and that's what that was what I indicated earlier with the Evander Holyfield Tyson fight. The first one was full of that, and it just dragged the contest down. And Tyson got frustrated in both fights, and led to just disastrous fights.
Oh,
but
I thought Holyfield was going to impregnate Tyson in that first fight.
Oh my God, he was literally inside the man.
Yeah.
But anyway, with this fight, I agree with what you're saying. If Tyson comes out with a flurry, like normally, if you're watching a Mike Tyson fight, he unloads the guns early in the fight. You know what I mean? So I think the key to success for especially Roy Jones Jr. is to drag his ass as long as he can in this fight and, wear him down. But I think you're right. I think this is going to be more of a technical boxing thing. It's not going to be a take your head off type of fight. But I hope I'm wrong.
Tyson looks very calm in the ring.
Yep.
Roy Jones Jr. looks a little soft in the belly. Not, he is 51. I'm not going to give him shit about it. But just an observation. He could have come in a little bit tighter, a little bit stronger.
Absolutely. And we are ready. The bell is rung, and round one is underway. Here we go. Tyson.
Right.
Yep. Here we go. Tyson snapping those punches, man.
Yep, Tyson
nice
comes out jabbing.
Those punches. Ooh, Jones backing off here.
I said Jones was going to.
Wow, here we go.
Jones was going to circle and try, use his reach, circle away. Tyson's getting very aggressive.
Tyson is after this man. This is good here. Okay, let's see what Jones' strategy is here. Oh, I think you just felt that shot to the side there by Tyson.
Yep, Tyson
Look
goes
at
to
Mike.
the body.
He's going for it.
Tyson's really chasing after him. Jones is trying to keep some distance between them. Uses jab, uses reach.
Whoa! There you go. That was the headshot we were looking for. He was very lucky he was at a distance on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Tyson grabbing a few stiff shots on the inside.
Oh, my God. Look at that. Fighting in the clinch. Tyson throws some shots to the body. Most of what looked like it bounced off his, Roy Jones' arm.
You can see Jones is waiting for him, though. You see that? I think he's going to play the patience game here. He's waiting for Tyson to lean in, and he's just going to can him. Just take a look at that stance he's got there.
Tyson's 54 years old, and the question is, he might have the power, he might have the desire. Does he have the cardio?
That's the thing. With his conditioning I'm seeing here, he definitely appears to have the cardio factor compared to Roy Jones Jr. here, but time will tell. I think Roy Jones Jr. needs to have the cardio because he needs to do the long game, I think, to put away Tyson in this one.
Well, I'll tell you, time has flown by. We are down to the last 20 seconds of the first round. These are
2-minute rounds. Crazy.
Yes, bare-knuckle boxing is 2-minute rounds.
If I'm judging this one, I'm giving Tyson round one.
Oh, for sure.
There you go.
Yep. Ugly this up, Roy Jones. That's your only hope until Mike Tyson starts to get blown up.
Yep. You got to drag his ass through the mud and let him wear down. That's what you got to do.
Make Tyson wear you like a cheap coat. And that's really it. Like, I'm rooting for Tyson, but if you're calling it down the middle and you're trying to say, like, how does Roy Jones get out of this? You want to drag Mike Tyson into the later rounds because you don't know if his, as a 54-year-old man who hasn't boxed since the early 2000s, you don't know. And apparently, in between that time, he may or may not have been on drugs. You don't know if he can, if he's got the cardio to get him through the last couple of rounds. And
Roy Jones Jr. breathing heavy. The announcer's just announcing that they're seeing him breathing heavy. And, man, he was sucking gas in that corner right there then. So that's not a good sign for Roy Jones Jr. in round one. Tyson looked great, relaxed in the corner.
Well,
round
yeah, absolutely.
Underway.
Roy Jones Jr. was running for his life in that first round.
And he's at it again. Tyson is going for broke here.
I mean, he's 51 years old. He's no spring chicken either, and he's doing a lot of movement, but he's at least boxed in the last 2 years.
And you're seeing Roy Jones Jr., holding him in the clinch here, just as suspected. And Tyson is, unloading a few punches in deep.
Wear down those arms. Wear down that body.
Yep.
Don't let Tyson just have free shots at you. That's a recipe for getting knocked out.
Yep.
I'm sure even at this stage
wait a
of
second
Tyson's
here.
career.
Tyson advancing hard on this guy. Ooh, Jones.
I don't think Tyson wants to be in there much longer. I think Tyson wants to get the knockout and be done with this.
Yep. I don't. Yeah, as you said, father time not on the side of either man here tonight. And look at Tyson. Look at the duck and move here.
Mm-hmm.
Still got it, baby. Still got it so far.
You have to admire, even at this stage, Tyson's footwork and use of his body, use of his hips. He does not just fight standing straight up like some boxers do. Like, he really uses his whole body to generate power.
He's got the torque.
And he's got such good, he's got such good movement in his feet. And even in this fight, he's so much fun to watch.
Oh, yeah. Like, Mike Tyson literally pivots from the ankles. Like, every part of his body torques when he throws those punches, which is still cool to see. Roy Jones Jr. got him all cinched up here.
Yep. But Tyson's not giving him a free ride. I mean, I've seen some guys that get clinched up and they just wait for the ref to separate them. Mike Tyson's giving him some punches to the body in the clinch. He's not giving him not giving him any space.
Nice shot to Roy Jones Jr. in the mush there. Tyson.
Yep.
Oh, and another shot after the bell.
I'll tell you what. You take the body away from a guy. Oh, a little shot after the bell there.
There you go. Mike Tyson's back. Round 2 goes again to Mike Tyson, in my opinion, if I'm judging this one.
For sure. But yeah,
so these guys were supposed to wear headgear.
Yes, I said that earlier, and they're not wearing it.
Glad they did away with that.
For sure. Yeah, Tyson's been attacking the body, which I think is good. Again, I mentioned at the start of the fight that Roy Jones looked a little soft in the belly, and I think Tyson's targeting him there and figuring, a body shot knockout, or if he attacks the body enough, the head will give way, and he can go for the knockout there. So either way, he's got 2 paths to victory on a game Roy Jones Jr.
Exactly. Both men were starting to suck a bit of air, so Tyson showed a bit of air loss there in that last corner. He was breathing heavy, and you saw a nice stiff shot by Roy Jones Jr. there to start the second round. But this is round 3. We're underway.
And Mike Tyson comes out swinging again.
He does.
Stay away from him, Roy. Don't get into a firefight with Iron Mike.
Oh,
that is not key to victory.
Roy Jones Jr. He's starting to land a couple of those punches inside there. So I think he's got a bit of a strategy: cinch and punch. Oh, there you go.
It's not a bad strategy, If you don't let Mike gather power from his hips, you cut off half of his game right there.
That's exactly what he's doing, and he's doing it pretty successfully here right now. Got him locked up really good. The referee really needs to step in here. Open this up a little bit here. There we go.
This is such a circus. This is such an event. I don't think you're going to see too much interference from the ref unless, he has to.
Well, he's doing it, though. He's stepping in there. Is Roy Jones Jr. cut?
No, we could see a stop to this fight if it's bad enough.
Oh, no. Nope. Ref is letting it go. I thought we were going to have our first stoppage because the rules state, I think, that first blood wins this one, does it not? Or stops this fight?
A cut can stop this fight, yes.
Oh, boy. That could be dangerous.
All right, trading body shots in the clinch again. And Roy Jones Jr. doing a very good job of making Mike Tyson wear his weight.
Oh, absolutely he is. Look at this. Okay, This is getting more uneven ground as time goes on. I think this is exactly what Roy Jones Jr. actually wants to happen here.
Oh, yeah.
He's starting to slow Tyson down a little bit. Tyson is still swinging for the fences, but that cinch is starting to work the game here.
Yeah, Roy Jones Jr. has uglied this up, and that is exactly what he needed to do.
Yep. And he's keeping that head out there, though. He's being a little bit cocky on the outside there. So when he gets out there, he's bobbing that head, weaving it in, playing a few games here, and that's not what you want to do against Mike Tyson because that punch is coming for your face, baby. And Weed Maps proudly presents this fight.
Oh, boy.
2020, everybody.
I think it was a good round for Roy Jones. I didn't see much out of Mike Tyson there.
Nope. I think the game plan of Roy Jones Jr. with the cinch was very effective there. So it's interesting to see what Tyson's corner is going to be here right now, what they're going to direct him.
And that's the thing about this particular style of fight. with the 2-minute rounds and there being only 8 of them, in a regular 12-round, 3-minute per round fight, you have time to work. You have time to break down your opponent.
Yep.
They're running out of time.
They
very
are.
quickly.
And these corner breaks are extremely fast.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, these guys are not getting a chance to really get their air, you know what I mean? And they're right back in the swing of things again. So, 2-minute round, quick corner break, and we're back at it again. Tyson looks good, though. He doesn't look like he's out of gas there in that corner ready to go. Be interesting how we see the start, because I think he's going to want to stay away from the cinch, and he went right into it again.
I say, if you're Mike Tyson right now, you don't want to let Roy Jones Jr. keep clinching with you. You want to stick the jab out there, make him pay for it any time he tries to get in close. Try to create some distance between you and him. And as I said, we're into the 4th round here of an 8-round fight. If he's going to try to get a knockout win, Tyson needs to create some space, and he needs to pick up the pace.
Yep, and it looks like Tyson's using the cinch on him right now, which is an interesting turn of events. Oh, look at that. We got to open this up. Open this one up, ref. They're making love to each other in the middle of the ring here.
They're exchanging body blows in the clinch.
Here we go. See who blows out of this. Tyson's still got the sharpness on that punch, though, even though we are in round 4 here.
Roy Jones Jr. got a warning there. Don't trap the arm like that. We don't want we don't want Mike Tyson almost did to somebody where he almost broke his arm.
I think there's money in maiming Roy Jones Jr. here, I think. There you go. Here we go.
There we go. Tyson attacks the body from range, and Roy Jones didn't like any of it.
No, sir.
Roy Jones basically fell on Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson's like holding him up. All right,
I think Roy Jones Jr. is keeping his gate way too open here when you're fighting Mike Tyson, man. I don't know. I don't know if this is a great strategy by Roy Jones Jr., and he's feeling those body blows even inside.
I mean, if you've got the hand speed, you can keep your hands that low, but I don't think Roy Jones Jr. has enough hand speed to get his gloves in place from at his waist.
Exactly, and I think that round went to Tyson again.
Yeah. I've got it three rounds to 1 for Mike Tyson.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely. Well, the money is clearly on Mike Tyson in this match, but we'll see how it goes here. Roy Jones Jr. getting advice in the corner, breathing a little bit easier right now, even though he's still sucking a bit of gas, but we'll see.
Yeah, Roy Jones Jr. is looking. Is it over yet? Are we done?
Tyson looking good. He's just listened to his corner here now. He seems to be calm, cool, and collective.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was noticing that about Mike Tyson's body language is that he's not getting excited. He's not getting ahead of himself. He's taking each round as it comes. You don't see the frustration in Tyson that you would see in the second half of his career after he lost the title.
You're exactly right, and I think that's what Roy Jones Jr. was anticipating, is that we're going to see, a house of fire steamrolling ahead, and he'd take advantage of that with his dirty right paw. But instead, we're getting a new, more patient Mike Tyson here, which is interesting.
Well, patience
and Tyson going full steam ahead again.
Patience and a lack of entitlement for Tyson is the key mentally. Because that's what killed him in that second half of his career. When he, after he lost the title and he started on the road to making a comeback in between prison stints, he would fight like if the guy wasn't knocked out within the first few rounds, he got disheartened and he fought,
he did.
Angry, but not angry like he fought in the beginning of his career, angry like entitled and frustrated. And he made mistakes and he lost fights that way.
He lost fights because he was against his own hype. So, I mean, the smart money in boxing at that time was you were buying a Mike Tyson fight to see somebody knocked out early. So, I mean, there was a lot of pressure on Mike Tyson to knock somebody out in the first 2 to 3 rounds. And when he couldn't get there, he knew that fight was sunk. You know what I mean? And it was a shame.
And mentally, I think he would throw tantrums in the ring.
Oh, there you go. Welcome back, Mike Tyson.
Oh, nice. Yeah, look at that. Nice left from Mike Tyson. And
There
Roy
you go.
Jones,
That's not where you want to be with Iron Mike.
Roy Jones Jr. trying to fight from distance, but he's giving Mike too much space.
He's got 20 seconds left of this round. He's just got to hold on here and survive Mike Tyson at this point. Here we go.
Yep, he's tying him up against
Jones
the ropes.
Is really looking like he's on rubber leg street here. Tyson is going right at him here. Only seconds left of this round. Oh, boy, he's teeing off on Roy Jones Jr. right now. That could have ended that game if there was another 10 seconds.
Oh, look at that. Look at the head snap back on Roy Jones and a final clubbing right from Mike Tyson ends round 5.
Nice. Beautiful round. All Tyson on that one.
For sure. Well, Tyson's won on points. He just needs to not get knocked out now.
Yep. And boy, is Roy Jones Jr. sucking gas right now. And I think he felt a couple nice, stiff Mike Tyson iron shots right to the boiler and to the head on that one. So
I would be curious to see how much road work he got in preparing for this. You know, how much he hit the road, how much cardio did he do? You know, how much did he prepare to go 8 rounds of time? Not, you know, I mean, look, clinching sure gives you a rest, but it also takes some energy out of you.
Yep.
You know,
we are ready. You know, round 6.
You look at MMA and you look like pommeling and grappling and whatnot. I mean, it takes some energy.
It does indeed. And here's round 6, ready to go. 155 into the fight here right now. 8 rounds will decide this, baby. All Tyson so far. Let's see. Roy Jones Jr. really has to pull something out of the hat here. He's intending on winning this.
Tyson still has a lot of snap in his punches. I mean, look at his
does.
guards, nice
He's
and tight.
For the corner.
He's not dropping those hands.
Yep, he really needs to cinch him up and hold him on and see if he can work some advantage that way. He's really got to tie Tyson up and take him off his game. So this is maybe his only key to success he's got going here. Tyson keeps coming.
Well, Roy Jones Jr. needs a knockout at this point in order to win the fight, and he's not going to do that clinching with Tyson. He's not going to generate enough power in the clinch to suddenly knock Tyson out.
He really needs to almost rope-a-dope his ass in and hit those key shots. That's his only way he's going to put away Tyson here.
Well, Tyson
ain't buying it.
I haven't seen a tremendous amount of body speed from Roy Jones Jr. to make me think that even if he fought Tyson at a distance, that he could evade enough of Tyson's counterpunches.
No, oh boy, he really looks he really looks fatigued, and Tyson is all over him.
They're gonna stop this if he doesn't get more active.
Boy, oh boy. Man,
again,
I'm telling you right now,
this is just an exhibition, and if Roy Jones Jr. doesn't pick up the pace and be a little more aggressive, they might stop this. They might say you're done. Yep. He already looks like look like Michael Jackson in Jackson 5. Daddy, I don't want to go out and perform. Smack.
Get out there, son. Sing that Triller.
That's right. Come on, baby. Give me one more chance. Get out there.
And Tyson is looking good. Strong stance. Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah. Got his hands up. He still looks like he's got snap in his punches.
Boy, oh boy. Then that's another one there. Another one in the bag for Tyson. Boy, oh boy. Roy Jones Jr. not looking good at all. Tyson just standing there. I mean, he knows he's got this one in the bag.
Yeah. We might be going to all 8 rounds here, Chris.
I think we're going all 8. But I think this one goes all Iron Mike, and I think that's literally what the boxing industry needs right now, honestly. Just seeing Mike Tyson back, I think it would be detrimental to the pay-per-view industry in general.
What the boxing industry needs is Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. But, 2021 will get here soon enough. Anthony Joshua, I believe, in 2 weeks takes on Kubrat Pulev. Presumably, he wins that fight. And then I think it's all clear because I think Tyson Fury, who was going to fight and defend his WBC title, has opted to stay on the sidelines and wait for the winner of Pulev Joshua. Presumably it'll be Joshua. We said that against him in the first Andrew Ruiz fight when he looked like he was on drugs. So,
boy,
be nice if things worked out.
Yep. Boy, did Roy Jones Jr. look bad coming out of that corner. He looks like he needs a bed.
We are in round 7. Nighty night, Roy Jones. Oh,
Tyson is looking great. He's got him in the corner. wailing away here.
Look at that speed on Tyson, man.
Man, I think if you are just an outsider looking back at this, you got to be impressed with Mike Tyson here.
Yeah.
Here you go. He's got him in the corner again. This is dangerous territory for Roy Jones Jr. Yeah, the ref does need to jump in here because I think Ronaldo was pointing out that they need to be breaking these cinches a lot earlier because you're tying up a lot of time when you only have a 2-minute round.
Right. Roy Jones is just letting his hands drop, just letting him hang.
Sad, actually a sad fight for Roy Jones Jr. It's Mike Tyson is really, really putting on an exhibition here, and I don't think he's got one thing to be ashamed of. I mean, he got great cardio. He's delivering those power punches. He's standing up. He's got speed. So I mean, anything you want here. Just to cap this one off, a KO would be very nice here.
We've got 30 seconds left of round 7.
The clock is running out on the chances of Roy Jones Jr. So
Roy Jones Jr. is just hanging on for dear life.
Yep. He just wants to be able to keep standing by the end of these 8 rounds. That's his goal right now, is to dance, stay away, and just literally remain on your feet and hopefully not dead.
Though, Tyson's going after him. Tyson's not content to just sort of flick a jab out there and let time expire. He is going after Roy Jones. Roy Jones is doing an effective job of staying the hell away from him or clinching. To Roy Jones's credit, he's not letting Mike Tyson just tee off on him. Because a couple of times now, Mike Tyson's had a couple of really good combinations, and Roy Jones either clinched or got the hell out of there.
Yep. So he's successfully defending against the Mike Tyson barrage here. So I think that Jones probably will survive the fight in regards to being laid out on his back. But this one is definitely going towards Mike Tyson on something, unless something drastically changes here in round 8.
When I think about the modern heavyweights, you've got Deontay Wilder out there, you've got Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. I don't know how many of, on the European side, you've got Povetkin, Dillian White. You've got today Joe Joyce won a title in his fight with Daniel Dubois. It's hard for me to think about who would be a good match for Tyson. You got to consider his age here. I mean, he's fighting somebody who's his contemporary, who also mostly fought in a lower weight class.
Right,
so
exactly.
It's fine. But
it's not apples to apples.
Right, yeah. I don't want to see him in there against Deontay Wilder. I think Deontay Wilder would give him brain damage, and I don't even think Deontay Wilder's that good of a fighter.
Absolutely not. Okay, here we go, round 8. We're 30 seconds in already.
And then
only a minute and a half.
And then if he fought like Tyson Fury, it would be like Matt Hardy versus Andre the Giant.
Oh, whoa! Roy Jones Jr. ducked that one and playing a little bit of histrionics here with Tyson. Not what you want to do.
Look at that little shuffle there from Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah, a shuffle right to your finish, my brother. You are toast. Tying him up on the ropes. Let's see if Iron Mike tries to unload in the last 30 seconds of this one.
Yep. We are in the closing seconds.
Oh, there we go.
Exhibition fight between Iron Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. Oh, look at that. Tyson's going after him in the corner. Roy Jones Jr. clinches, turns himself out of the corner, gets himself out of danger as the clock winds down.
Only 30 seconds remaining in this one, Mark. We only got, and boy, is Jones trying to hold on for dear life here.
I mean, it's been an entertaining fight, I am not bored by this.
No, definitely not.
If you want the boxing equivalent to Ambien, check out Jacobs Rosado from DAZN from last night. Good God.
And this one is just about done.
All right.
Solid win, I think, here for Mike Tyson. Was just a matter of formality of running the clock here.
Yeah, for sure.
And this one is done.
Yep.
I don't think there's any question on the finish of this one, Mark. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I had almost every round for Tyson. I think maybe 1 or 2 rounds for Roy Jones Jr.
Yep.
At best. And even even giving him 2 might be being generous. But, in an 8-round fight, I looks like it was about 6-2 for Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one. 100%. Anyway, so what do you think? Did it live up to the hype? Were you impressed? I think if I'm evaluating this fight, I think Tyson came out looking really good, really strong. He came in ready for this fight. He looked good. He looked stiff. He looked engaged. And I can't say that for Roy Jones Jr.
Well, it didn't end in cannibalism, so that's good.
Yep. So they kept they kept it in the parameters of an exhibition.
Sure.
But still delivered a solid fight. So, I'm going to consider this a win, and I would definitely probably purchase another Mike Tyson pay-per-view. So I think we're going to have the right finish for the benefit of the boxing industry here, is all I'll tell you.
I think this was a very entertaining fight, for what it was. I think if you were looking for, high-level heavyweight action, that's not really what this was supposed to be. This was supposed to be what it was, an exhibition between 2 retired fighters. I think they both tried, and I think they put on an entertaining fight. I think Tyson looked really good in there. I think Tyson had a lot of snap at his punches. He didn't look gassed out. I think Roy Jones Jr. might want to take a minute before he takes another fight, and really think about what he's doing. I don't think he was as ready for this fight as Tyson was.
No, I don't think so either. And it came from the videos. I mean, all the hype was around seeing those Tyson videos, seeing him back in shape, seeing him hit that bag. And you didn't really get that same vibe from Roy Jones Jr. in the build towards this one. So Mike Tyson came in ready for this one, and I think he's going to get the Duke.
But in defense of Roy Jones Jr., he fought a very smart fight. We said at the top of the fight that you don't want to give Mike Tyson too much space to wind up and deliver a knockout blow or a combination of power punches. And he took that away from Tyson. And that's the story of this fight, is that anytime Tyson got a little momentum, Roy Jones would tie him up and would, deliver some body shots in the clinch. So I think Tyson looked good, but Roy Jones Jr. fought the best fight he could in the shape that he's in against Mike Tyson.
Yep, I agree with you. 100%. And we're getting ready to get the official decision here. And we still had Snoop Dogg on commentary throughout the entire fight, cursing and swearing throughout this one, which was I think, to the detriment of the announce booth on this entire show.
I don't think did Sugar Ray Leonard say much of anything.
It sort of seems like he's on like 2 weeks away from being in Muhammad Ali land. You know what I mean? The man looks like he's a little scrambled.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Poor Sugar Ray.
I came in as a Sugar Ray Leonard fan. The WWF, when they were promoting boxing fights and all that stuff with Sugar Ray Leonard, was one of the reasons why I started to watch, boxing back in the day. So I got nothing bad to say about Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yep.
So what's your opinion, Mauro Ranallo?
What is happening in there?
Hair?
I don't have the sound up, but it looked like Tyson's pissed about something.
I think that they're taking forever to announce him as the winner here, so I don't know what the delay is here with the announcement here, but
this shouldn't be that difficult.
No. Especially when the winner is clear here. What do you think of Mauro Ranallo's haircut? The long, flowing locks of Mauro Ranallo. I don't know what look he's going for. But
I don't want Mauro Ranallo to delete his Twitter again, so I'm not making any comments negative about.
Fair enough.
Mauro.
Yes, you're right. I love Mauro Ranallo.
Mauro Ranallo, you're the best, Mamma Mia.
But I will say, Snoop Dogg does not belong anywhere close to one of these heavily hyped boxing fights. So
God,
stay home with Sasha Banks.
Snoop Dogg is everywhere. I feel like when he dies, the federal government's going to make his birthday a national holiday. You talk about cultural icons. Jesus Christ! Oh my God, get on with this already.
Did they announce this as a draw?
No. I'm waiting for graphics to
What?
appear on the screen. Is that what happened? Because I have the sound down.
They announced it as a draw.
Oh, blow me. Blow me. There's
Tyson
no way
said
this was
he
a
was
draw.
okay with this being a draw. There's no way.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh my.
You want to, is Canelo fighting? What's with the gift decisions?
Oh my.
The joke being that Canelo wins fights on gift decisions. Get it? Canelo's actually fighting again in the not too far future on DAZN, believe it or not, after fighting with them.
Right now, both men are being interviewed, and Roy Jones Jr. is talking about taking the body shots, and he's saying he really got hurt by the inside body shots. And Tyson is saying that, yeah, you know what? He respected him. Oh, my goodness. What has happened here, Mark? What has happened to this fight?
See, that pisses me off.
Wow.
Yep, Mike Tyson and Roy Jones. This is per Ariel Helwani on Twitter. Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. fight to a draw. That's according to the WBC's unofficial judges, Christy Martin, Vinny Pazienza, and Chad Dawson. Chad Dawson? Ugh.
This is, I don't even know what to say about the conclusion to this one. This is not accurate, I would say.
Good freaking...
And I don't think it was ever meant to be. Maybe this was just, it was just a work to draw some cash, and they went to a draw. And I think we've both been hoodwinked, my brother.
CBS has the following. Rounds 1 and 2, Tyson, 3 to Jones. That's how we had it. 4 and 5 to Tyson. And then the last 3 rounds to Jones. And so they have it as a draw, 76-76.
Are they watching the same fight we are?
Yeah, I don't know. Just some random notes here from Twitter. Brent Brookhouse had 67-66 for Tyson 10 minutes ago. So let's see here.
Wow. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now they're putting up a scorecard, a rigged scorecard. I think we got worked.
What a shit end to what was a pretty decent fight. That's unfortunate. All right, Chris, let's wrap up. I'll give you the last word here. I thought it was a pretty good fight. I'm not even going to acknowledge the score. I paid my $50 to watch the fight. I watched the fight. I was entertained by the fight. The whole night of fights, including the destruction of amateur backyard boxer Nate Robinson. It kept me invested. I was interested in what was going on. So, in terms of, celebrity events and circuses, this was definitely not the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen.
Oh, no.
And I would be interested in seeing what Tyson does next. I'll give you the final word to close out.
I do, too. And, baby, listen, as a kid who sat in his bedroom playing Mike Tyson's Punch-Out endlessly, seeing the legend back on the screen was more than enough to entertain me. So I was just glad to see another Tyson fight and Tyson looking great in what he does. So, yeah, you know what? We can dispute this result, and I think we know why this happened. This was, I'm not going to say a cash grab, but it was just meant for entertainment purposes, and that's what we got. We got an entertaining fight. So, yeah. So you know what? I'm happy that I watched this fight. So there you go. So thank you for inviting me to watch the Tyson fight. So.
Well, I know you don't necessarily watch a lot of boxing anymore, but should you find yourself being interested in covering another boxing match, I would invite you to do so. I'm always up for doing, now that my jaw and my lungs both seem to be working appropriately. God forbid. God help me if I have any more medical problems. Everything seems to be in good working order, at least this week. So I would be up for doing more alternative commentaries should you find any interest in what's going on in the world of boxing. And you can always find a schedule on Boxing Insider or Bad Left Hook or anything like that. So if you see something that you're interested in calling with me, I would invite you to do so.
Well, I appreciate that, sir. And on behalf of Mario Lopez and the Superblog team-up launching on December 16th, you can find me, Charlton_Hero on Twitter. So let us know what you thought of this fight, guys. And let's hear what you got to say about Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. and the controversial ending to this one. Thanks for having me, Mark Radulich.
Absolutely. As far as what else we're doing on the Radulich and Broadcasting Network, you can check out our boxing series. We're up to Chapter 12, Mike Tyson. We've covered Muhammad Ali. We've covered the Cassius Clay years. We've covered the scramble for Ali's title, the fracturing of the title after Ali. We go all the way back to Jack Johnson, in the early 1900s. We covered Jack Dempsey. We cover Rocky Marciano. We covered all the lineal heavyweight champions, and and some in between. So the great Jerry Quarry, old Silk Shorts. So all of those podcasts are up on the W2M podcast feed. Wherever you find podcasts, you can find W2M, and then you'll see all of our podcasts. This week we've got we got an end to the Chris Sheehan month on Source Material Live. We're going to look at Hart Fisher's Jeffrey Dahmer, an unauthorized biography. I'm going to have the other two Canadians, Andrew Graham and David Wright. We're going to be talking The Crown Season 4. This is the Margaret Thatcher, Diana season, so that's fun. And then we'll have another Metal Hammer of Doom for you this week. We got Hatebreed, Weight of False Self. So you can check that out. Last week we covered AC/DC, Power Up. The Podsman, you just heard one of the Podsmen, Mr. Chris Bailey. We reviewed Survivor Series. And Chris Sheehan and I talked about the worst comic in the history of publishing comics, and that includes this past year with Safe Space and Even Flow, or whatever the hell the other character's name was. Snowflake and Safe Space. Yes, not even that bad. So we looked at the Vanity Project from the editor of Marvel at that time, back in whatever year this was. We looked at Marvel. So you go ahead and check that out. We had a 2-hour conversation about the worst comic book ever. Definitely worth a listen.
The worst comic book ever and the best edition of the Source Material Live podcast ever.
It was good stuff. All right, folks, that's it for me. That's it for Chris Bailey. Thank you for joining us here on the Radulich and Broadcasting Network Boxing Alternative Commentary. It was a pleasure to do it again, and I hope we can do it again sometime in the near future. For Chris Bailey, be well, be safe, and behave.
Take care, everybody.